Hey everybody, today I'm going to be going over how to create OP art. What is OP art? OP art is art that plays tricks on your eyes. So that means it's basically like short for optical illusion art. So today I'm going to discuss how to create a really cool optical illusion. So this is not going to look like anything in particular, it's just something that's supposed to play tricks on your eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and go over everything step by step, and by the end we should have a really cool piece of art. So I'm going to start. My paper is horizontal, so it's long ways. There you can see it a little better. All right, now I'm going to zoom back in. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going across the middle of the page with a squiggly line. It does not matter how squiggly it is. It does not matter if it's totally straight. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what this line looks like. This is abstract art. It is totally up to you. But now that I have this squiggly line, I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding some dots to it. So I'm going to start with one here, and I'm going to say I'm going to make 8 dots. These do not need to be evenly spaced. They can be if you want them to be, but there's no reason that they have to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So squiggly line, 8 dots. All right, now that I have these 8 dots, I'm going to start creating these little bumps. So the bumps are going to come from the side and they connect to the dot. All of these bumps always are going to connect to the dots. Keep that in mind. So now I'm going to do another one, just like that, and another one. And you see I'm always coming right back to those dots. So that's what it's going to look like for right now. And it really doesn't look like anything. I'm totally aware of that. Now I'm going to do another stack of these bumps. So I'm going to start about the exact same place that I did before, but this one's going to be taller, and it's still connecting back to that dot. Now I'm going to do another one. And see, I'm always coming back to that dot. That's super important because it won't look right unless you always connect back to the original dot. So you can see I'm just going back to the dots. Okay, so pretty easy. Also, I want you to keep in mind, these don't have to be like the same size. I could make one like super duper tall. So like here, I'll make a big one, gigantic. I could make a really small one, like this. It's okay for them to look different. This is an abstract art form, so they don't necessarily have to look like anything, but they do always go back to that original dot. Just like that. All right, now I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do this until I fill in all of these spaces all the way to the top. I got a little messy there. That's okay. And I'm almost to the top. And you can see I'm not being super even with any of these. They're all different shapes and sizes. And over here, I'm going to do another one right there. We are almost done. Let's see, we have a little bit of space right here. And I think that'll fill all of that in. Okay, so now what I want to do is the exact same thing, but on the bottom, and I'm just going to fill in the whole thing. So I'm going to start from the edge and same exact thing except upside down. Now, if you are not comfortable doing this upside down because you just did it right side up and you don't feel like you can do it the same way, just flip your page so that the whole thing is upside down. Then it's just going to be the exact same as what you just did. a little bit out of there. All right, we're almost there. I apologize that some of mine are a little messy. I am drawing at a bit of an odd angle, which you can't see, but that's just how the camera's set up. Hopefully yours will be a little bit neater than mine. All right, so now I have my whole page filled in with this design. And if you look at it long enough, what kind of happens with your eyes is these lines should look a little bit like they're wiggling. That's kind of the effect of this particular optical illusion. So now what you can do is you can either leave this blank or you can start coloring it in. Now, I have a really cool method of coloring this in that would be really neat if we filled in the whole thing. I am not going to fill in the whole thing in this video, but I do want y'all to see what it might look like. So I'm gonna choose one of these rows. I think I'm gonna go for this one right here. I have a blue colored pencil, nothing special. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press really hard, and I'm also gonna zoom into this, make this easier to see. Okay. There we go. Now we can really focus on this. So I am going to go right in here and on the edges, so right in this corner and this corner, I'm going to press super hard. Here we go. And notice that I'm stopping. I'm not coloring in the whole thing. Okay, so that's the first part. The next part is I'm going to color right next to it, but a little bit softer. So this time I'm not pressing quite as hard as I did the first time. So if you need to practice pressing harder and softer with the colored pencil so you can achieve this, you can totally do that. I would suggest doing it on a scratch piece of paper though, not on your actual drawing. So we see now it's starting to look a little bit like it's shiny because we're going from dark to medium to light. I'm going to do another layer that's even lighter. Like I'm pressing super light right now. And that's how you're going to make these look shiny if you want to make them look shiny. Now on the next one, I'm going to switch colors. So I'm going to switch to green and I'm going to do it right here. So I'm going to press really hard first. And then I'm going to press really hard over here in those corners. Then I'm going to press medium. Medium. And then super soft. And I'm leaving the very middle white. If you leave the very middle white, it'll look like there's really like a shine happening. So you can see right now, these two look like they're shiny. Now I'm gonna do another one with yellow. Yellow may not have been the best choice for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I figured, you know, blue and yellow makes green. See how clever that is? So I'm pressing hard on either side. I press medium, medium, soft, soft, leave the middle white. And you can see I'm leaving like a white line that goes down and it's almost matching up. So it's actually looking like these crazy lines are creating like a round cylinder thing. So it would look the coolest if you fill in all of these. I'm only going to fill in a couple just so you can see what it'll look like. Then the rest of it will be up to you. I hope these come out really neat for y'all. Looking good. And switch to green. All right, sweet. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and fill in what you can see on your camera just for this one. Then I'm gonna do one more thing on the other one right next to it so that you can see another way that you could possibly color this that might also look neat. All right, and looks like we have one more here. And we have one more up here. Super cool. So it looks really neat as it is. Now on the one next to it, let's see, we're gonna switch kind of over here. I'm gonna do something a little different. So this time what I'm gonna do is I am going to be on the edge with blue. I'm gonna press real hard on the edge with blue. Then I'm gonna switch to green. And I'm still pressing hard. You can press softer if you want though. I'll do that on the next one. So just for this one, I'm gonna press hard with all of the colors. So now I'm using green next to the blue. And I'm gonna use yellow next to the green, and I'm gonna still leave that spot in the middle so that it's white. Okay, so this is like another thing that you can do, and it looks kind of tie-dye, which is pretty neat. On the next one, I think I'm gonna make it so that I make it pressing hard on the edges and then medium right here and then a little bit softer in the middle. I'm gonna do the exact same pattern. So I'm gonna start with blue on the edges. Blue here, blue here. And I'm gonna go more medium here, medium here. And now with yellow, I'm gonna go really soft, okay? And in the middle, I'm gonna still leave it white. Real soft, real soft. So I think this one looks better. Let's move our camera just a little bit. I think this one looks better. There we go, now it's focused. Than this one. That's a personal preference. You can do it either way that you want, whichever way you think is gonna look the coolest. And then I'm not sure, you could do this with a whole bunch of different colors. You could say do, instead of blue and green, you could do red and then blue and then do like light purple over here. That might also look neat. I do not have those colors with me right now, but I will go ahead and just quickly fill in this one little row so that you can see what it'll look like. And I'm just gonna do all of the sections that are blue first. Makes it a little faster. Just like that. Looks kind of gross until you have those other colors in there. Or until you shade it. Personally, I like the way this one looks better, but I wanted to give you all options for things you could do. Okay, now I'm gonna do green, and I'm just gonna press with a medium pressure with the green for all of these, keeping it consistent now. decay. And then I'll just finish off with the yellow, and then that's what I'm gonna do on mine. And there we have it. So that's two different ways that you can shade these to make them look super cool. Hopefully y'all's look really neat. Hopefully you have a really cool optical illusion happening. And then if you fill up this whole thing, I promise it'll look really neat. Thanks for joining, and I will talk to y'all later.